Here's Drew Gavette. He just finished his final set as a little 500 rider. He is exhausted. The captain of Sigma Phi Epsilon has helped his team to a comfortable lead for a large portion of the race. But the lead is gone. With 15 laps to go, the 2023 Men's Little 500 is headed to a sprint finish.
I really think about my dad, and I think about the people that have come before me. You know, this team has been going on and we've had a lot of recent success.
Sigma Phi Epsilon is your 2015 Men's Little 500 champion.
This team's been going on for years on end, and I know that every guy that has come through this program has been a better man coming out of it. So I think that's part of it too, is just understanding that this is something good. You know, it may feel hard, it may suck while you're putting your head down and your legs are burning, but you know, it's really, you just got to think about the bigger picture.
I think that's something really special to think about in the moments when I'm struggling most. It's definitely something I call upon for motivation, just because, you know, it is so special. You never know what's going to happen. Like, you could get crashed out.
Huge crash on the stretch. LaValle is down. Several teams are down.
So if you have the chance on race day to win, you know, you want to be strong enough. You want to know you've done everything you can. So. It'd be a really cool legacy to carry on and win it for, you know, both them that have come before me.
This program has shown me so much of like having teammates, like how much that can help you in life. Perseverance is one of the big things, like that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned from this.
Jet Black, take it in the 2021 Little 500.
Just like the fact that I've learned that lesson through the people in this program has been huge.
Honestly, I was so excited going into racing on Zana. I did not think I was going to race just because it was my first year, and knowing that my hard work paid off within 1 year was really rewarding when I heard that news.
For the next 200 laps, the 2+ hours, strap in, get yourself ready. Hank, I'm excited to be here.
What a day it is, Jack. What a day. Here we go. Green flag is waving.
Oh, a special day. The green flag goes. The green jersey goes first. The 72nd running of the Men's Little 500 is underway.
My dad actually rode for Phi Delta back in the 80s. So I grew up kind of knowing what Little 5 was. I actually grew up a Cutters fan. I was at the race probably when I was 5 years old, and I went to honestly every race for the next 10 years. Not a lot of kids, you know, get to share that experience with their family members, and it's been super special for me. I've grown closer with my dad through this, and you know, like looking back, like thinking like I was at this race with him when I was 5 years old, sitting right next to him, and now I'm in the pit and he's coaching me. Like it's really come full circle, and it's incredible to see. And you know, my mom watching me in the stands, my brothers too. It's super special for me, and I'm seriously never going to forget this in my life. It's one of the most impactful things I've ever been a part of. So it's been ingrained in my blood. It's really been a huge part of my life.
364 days of waiting, the green flag flies, and we're underway in the 35th running of the Women's Little 500.
It's so important and it's so special, and I think that's a huge reason why I care about it so much, because, you know, this event has value because we give it value, and it's been such a special way for me to connect with my family. We've always biked, and like we're going to France this summer to bike together, so I mean, it's just a huge point of bonding for us all.
Kappa Alpha Theta, a dynasty solidified. 4 weight race wins in the last 5 years. Kappa Alpha Theta does it again.
It's really special, and you have to remember that, like, it's a privilege to have this, you know, it's not like a burden. There are very few times in life when you're gonna get to go to the track or go to whatever your event is, whether it be work or sport, where you are going to be that team, you are going to be, you know, that face of the sport. And, you know, I recognize there's only 4 years of this, so, like, I don't know, to view it as a burden would kind of seem unfair. I think it's just such a special opportunity.
All of a sudden I was like on the ground, like my shoulder, like I landed on my shoulder. I got up and I was like, oh, I think I'm all right. I was like mad that I crashed, obviously, but I got up and then I started like walking, and then I was like moving my shoulder and it was like crunching, and I was like, oh, that's not what you want to feel after a crash. So I like felt it and I was like, yep, broken collarbone for sure. Yeah, so it got to race day and I had some people come up to me like, what are you doing? Like, you're racing? And it was kind of funny, kind of cool. Like, it was honestly absurd that I still raced because it was nowhere near healed. It just had a plate holding it together. So it was just like, it was kind of a crazy decision on my part, but I'm glad I did it.
I'm surprised the checkered flag is out. There's no yellow flag. It's a sprint to the finish for the 71st Little 500. Phi Delta Theta takes it.
So I kept closing it, and then I just realized like I don't have enough track left, and I got third. But so that was a little bit bittersweet, you know. Third's obviously still pretty good, but this program we have one goal, and that's to win. So.
There's a new queen atop the women's Little 500. Melanzana wins the 34th running of the women's Little 5. One of the most dominant performances we have seen in Little 500 history.
We have 4 rookies this year, so every year the team dynamic changes. We're gonna have 2 rookies race this year. One of them's a 5th year, one of them's a freshman.
I made some of my closest friends this year through this team, and friends that will last a long time, so I'm very fortunate for that.
Being a rookie, you're just so new and you don't really know as much as everyone else, but knowing that I have supportive teammates definitely helps, because I'm not racing this year, but I'm really happy to like have had that experience of learning how to bike, learning how to push myself, and yeah, just having awesome teammates and watching them race is definitely something I'm looking forward to. It's definitely a huge process the whole year. We've been training since fall every single day, and we put in a lot of work, and I think a lot of people don't really recognize that, and it goes really unnoticed. And all of these teams, all these women's teams, they put in so much work, and so do we, and it's just like, it's really important that I think people know that, because the race is so special and such a big tradition at IU, but they don't really understand all the work that goes into it. So yeah, we put in work every day for hours and hours, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but it's all worth it.
What is the goal for the team this year?
To win, you know. I think that's always the goal.
That's a different type of like bond that you make with people. Like, it's kind of like a trauma bond, you know. You get really close with people you spend a lot of time with, and I spend a ton of time with the team, so.
Hangs on as the little rubber wheel, there's a crash.
Fiji's down.
Fiji goes
Jet
down,
Black is
Phi Alpha
down.
goes down, Delta go down.
Definitely, I can handle more than I thought I could, and you know, it's important to push in those moments, because you know, it's really cool to like find that you can do more than you thought you were capable of, and in those moments that you're really struggling, like if you have a positive attitude, like you are capable of so much. And I don't know, I think people outside of Little 5 don't necessarily get to experience that, but it's something super cool that bonds all of the athletes in Little 5.
What does it mean to me? I would say that this is everything that I've known in college, like is riding for a little 5 team. And so it's like one of the most important things in my life for sure.
Anything can happen. It's 200 laps on a cinder track with a 33 team field. It's so unpredictable.
At their best efforts, essentially you could have a team pursuit
effort.
Theta
is down. They tried to make an exchange and they crashed. They crashed into one of the other teams down there, CSF, and Theta is now going to be late getting on the bike.
I think the key is being cohesive as a team, and there's so much broadness that I can get into, but if you're not friends off the track, then you're not going to be friends on the track. And if we want to work together as a team, like, we need to be friends and we need to treat each other with respect and stuff like that and encourage each other, because then that'll carry on to the track.
Melanzana in the lead. We have 10 laps to go here in the women's Little 500, and it's Melanzana with a small lead right now over DG and Theta. It's been a wild back and forth race.
And we've seen it happen with teams who you wouldn't expect to win and then they come out and win. So I think that that's the key to winning.
Melanzana is going to make the exchange.
Well, this will make it interesting, huh?
Wow, they're going to make the exchange. Theta's going to try to come around. Oh my goodness. Can Theta catch him? Onto the bike, the new rider for Melanzana. It is Grace Washburn, the senior captain. She's built, though, a lead. Melanzana can feel it. Once is nice, but twice is better. Washburn, the senior captain, had to sit out last year. It's gonna be sweet, sweet senior year though for her. Washburn cheering twice is nice for Melanzana. They go back to back and win the 35th Women's Little 500.
Even if you don't win, you're going to be able to look back at it and be like, okay, we did everything we could. I feel good with that performance because that was the best that those 4 riders had on that day. And if someone else comes out on top, that's bike racing. There can be a crash. There can be a multitude of things that happen.
Here we go. 2 turns left. Craig Maywar in the lead. Herbst on the outside. Pitts on his outside. What will it be? The checkered flag is ready.
Really, for me, it's looking at these guys. I look at the work they put in. I look at my family, my dad, and it's about sharing that with them and doing it. It's not necessarily me doing this for myself. Like I said earlier, it's for the greater good. It's for my family. It's for my friends. It's for my teammates. It's you have to take motivation from other people, and that's really just what's helped me a lot.
History, 15. A sprint to the finish, and Cutters adds further daylight in history. The timing margins between these top 5 talk about thinnest of margins. Cutters wins things in first place, 0.13 seconds behind is Delta Tau Delta, 0.26 seconds behind is Sigma Phi Epsilon.
You can't read into that. You can't put too much stake in the game because if something happens, then something happens. And if we were to get in a wreck or if something were to happen, then I still wouldn't trade any of this for anything. It's not about the one day. It's about the 364 other days in the year that you get to share with your teammates, and especially for me with my family. So, while there is pressure, it's not about that one day.